fast. So, while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You've worked hard to start your business and are working even harder to make it successful. That's when it's most important to have a community bank and a local banker in your corner. This is Eric Clark from Select Bank and Trust. Our team of local bankers care about you, our customer, and the communities in which we all live and serve together. As the business and economic conditions of 2020 threw you many curveballs, our team at Select Bank and Trust remains steadfast in being responsive to your ever-changing needs. In 2021, choose Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select, member FDIC.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
You know, anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those. But anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
With rates being historically low, now is the best time to buy or refinance your home. This is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now is the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250 and 685-842. Equal housing lender.
Hey Pirate fans, it's time to get your yard done right with the new John Deere mower from Quality Equipment. Our premium lawn care lineup is what every homeowner needs this spring. A John Deere will change the way you mow with easy-to-use attachments, effortless steering, and intuitive controls. Right now, save up to $700 on X300, X500, and X700 series mowers. Learn more at QualityEquip.com and get quality done right. Offer ends 3/1/21. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
They say nothing in life is free. Well, we're here to tell you they're wrong. Because when you switch to US Cellular, you can get the Samsung Galaxy S21 5G for free with no hidden requirements. That's right, the Samsung Galaxy S21 5G has launched and you can get it for free with no hidden requirements. US Cellular. Terms and conditions apply. See store or uscellular.com for details.
Does the idea of going to your local U.S. Cellular store make you feel a bit uncomfortable? Tired of the hassle of waiting and wearing a mask? Let Toby Williams and his outside sales team take away that worry. They will come right to your home or office and drop your phone off on the porch or at the front desk for you. Saving you time and worry is what the team at Cellular Warehouse is all about. Call Toby today at 252-799-7051 and let them help you with all of your wireless needs. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
This tax season, get more in return during Bostic Sugg Furniture's Tax Mania. Update your home for less with savings of 15% off throughout the store. Living room, dining room, and bedroom furniture at savings of 15% off. Save up to 70% off clearance items or get 48 months special financing. Now's the time to get a better night's sleep on a Scott Living or Restonic mattress and enjoy 48 months special financing. Your tax dollars go farther during Tax Mania, now at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation. This is Eastern North Carolina's longest-running sports radio call-in show. The Brian Bailey Show is on the air. The Brian Bailey Show on Pirate Radio is brought to you by
Bostic Sugg Furniture, Bojangles, East Coast Grading, Angus Grill, Gavigan Insurance, BMS Builders, The Rick House, Greenville Auto World, Papa John's, Pepsi, Seared Chop House, Taft and Hagler, and by Tiebreakers.
And now, here's Brian Bailey.
All right, good Monday, everyone, and welcome into our show. Got a great show planned for you today on the high school ranks. We're talking high school football and high school basketball. So we're going to kick it off with Will Bland. He won his first game as the head football coach at J.H. Rose on Thursday night of last week. We're going to kick off our show with Coach Bland. Hollis Harper, who's the girls' coach at Farmville Central, and his Lady Jags going for back-to-back state championships. They play in the Eastern Finals coming up tomorrow night on the road. Nate Connor, the head coach at D.H. Conley in football, want to get his thoughts on what it was like to play. He did play on a Friday night last week, played in the rain, so we'll get his thoughts on opening up and just how it felt to play in February, a real high school football game in the month of February as the calendar now turns to March. And then we'll close out our show with Larry Williford, the head basketball coach for the boys at Farmville Central, and his Jaguars. They were tweeting out tweets with Cinderella wins again. Cinderella continues their run to the ball. Just hilarious tweets because Farmville Central has absolutely steamrolled the eastern side of that bracket, and all those games have been on the road. So we'll talk with Larry Williford coming up in just a few minutes later on in our show. We kick it off, though, Will Bland, the head football coach at J.H. Rose. And Coach Bland, I want to have you on because sometimes when we're doing interviews or someone's talking to us, you know, we get emotional, and we really don't expect to be emotional. I know you were emotional after the game with the interviews that we got with you. Did you think you'd be that emotional after that win?
No, really. I thought it would just be another normal day. The kids just going out there doing what I've been doing, been coached to do, been trained to do for the last couple of years. And it just hit me because the kids fought so hard, and after the game, all of them came over. They gave me a big hug, congratulated me. So that brought us some emotion out there. So, but I was very excited, though.
Well, you know, you've been there for so long, you know, working as an assistant, the head JV coach for so long. So all of those kids basically grew up with you in football, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, I coached all them kids from probably, I seen when they were little tight and when they came out there and did our camps and stuff. So just for them to experience that win with me, I think this team was 2 years ago. They went undefeated as a JV team that was very good. But so I got all of them back. So it was a very emotional time, very excited time, and we're just ready to get back at it today and get ready for the fight.
The game Rose against New Bern was billed as one of the top games, at least on paper, in the state, and the Rampants won it 54-7 was the final. Did you have any idea that your team not only would play that well, but would roll to such a big win?
Well, I thought we would play well against them. I didn't think that we were going to put that many points up against them and then be able to stop them. I knew we had a very explosive offense. And I knew that we've been playing all year to make sure we get all our playmakers on the field on defense. And they just went out there and then on the opening kickoff decided to impose their will against a very, very talented New Bern team, and was able to get some big breaks, some big turnovers, and were able to march down the field later on and score. I think before halftime we scored 2 touchdowns within a minute and 30 of. So I think that broke the will of them. So they did a great job for us.
Is that one of the main differences? Because a couple people have told me that when you took over, you said, you know, your best players are going to have to play both ways. They're going to have to play defense too. And really, one of the best defensive players you had the other night was Kevin Hamilton, wasn't it?
It was. He was everywhere. He was on offense. I think he had 4 sacks. We got him down for 11 tackles. He has at least 5 tackles for loss in the backfield, and he did all that within only 3 quarters. And he is by far one of the better players we have on the team. And I told him his snaps. As a whole team, we had 140 snaps, and Kevin Hampton played in 102 of them.
Wow. Did most of the guys, when you tell them that, do they like the idea of playing both ways, or do some kids, you know, would rather? Because everybody wants to play offense, because everybody wants to score, everybody wants the football. But some guys just really, you know, they flourish more on D, don't they?
Yes, they do. I mean, like they get to go out there, they get to hit. I mean, like when do you get to hit somebody and not get in trouble? On the football field.
That's right.
So But when we told Kevin that he's all for it because he wanted to play some last year, some of the other guys that been growing up through our system that only play often were a little opposed of it. But when the game started, some kids don't want to come out the field, and just to hear, especially when we pulled them a fourth quarter, they're like, "Oh, can we go back in?" Nah, we'll let some other people go. But I want to go back in. So I think they enjoy that. I think now they have embraced that role that they have, knowing that they're always on the field playing and helping us win. So I think they a little bit more and trying to get to, especially with the middle school, that hey, if you get on the field on defense and offense, you play a lot more. So.
All right, there was a play in the game early on. The New Bern quarterback runs for a touchdown, dives into the end zone. The officials throw a flag. I don't know whether he was ejected or disqualified because there is a difference. But take us through that play from what you guys could see. Did he deserve a penalty on that?
Well, they gave him a penalty, but if you look back a couple of years ago, Cornell Powell actually dove in the end zone, did a flip against Easton Wayne his senior year, and he got a penalty and only got 15 yards.
Right.
But the state came back and told us that he should have been ejected.
Really? Because I saw the video of that play, and maybe he didn't need to dive into the end zone. The necessity wasn't there. But kids these days, they watch TV, they copy everything they see. So many guys do dive into the end zone, and I didn't think it was. Now, the only thing I could think of was if he had been mouthing off to the officials or mouthing off to some of the rampant players, that maybe that was the straw that broke the camel's back. But I didn't realize. I remember when Cornell did that. I didn't realize that the state had come back and said that.
Yeah, I think the refs got in trouble on that because they was like, you're supposed to keep him out. But from my view, I saw when he took off down the right sideline, he was gone. I saw the flag that got thrown for the holding because it got called back for holding. But then when he dove in the end zone, I really don't think he should have been kicked out. But that's me. I just thought, okay, you got a flag. As soon as they said that he got an unsportsman for diving, I said, well, he's about to get kicked out. And I knew right away he was about to get kicked out.
Yeah, and maybe what Cornell got for a penalty should have been what the kid from New Bern got for a penalty. But as you said, the state came back and changed it. So.
Yep, yep. They did. They came back and they said that he should have been suspended. I said,
wow.
I know that. So.
That's a big punishment for that. I guess the moral to that story is you can't dive into the end zone unless it's absolutely necessary. And then you have to figure out, if the official doesn't think it's necessary, then you're in trouble there too.
Right, because like our guy was running right beside him. He was coming. He probably was like 2-3 yards behind him.
Right.
I don't know if he thought that he looked back at him and then dove in the end zone or what, but he did dive, and unfortunately that was a big play in the game against them, and I think that probably helped out just a little bit that night.
When you look at what transpired on Thursday night and the games being played on Friday night, we're in the month of February. Did it seem like it was football season to you guys? Did it seem like, maybe it didn't seem like the fall, but did it seem like, hey, this is okay?
Yeah, I think so. I thought it seemed like it was football season. It was a little bit different in the aspect that it was it was warm at the kickoff, and then all of a sudden it got cold.
Yeah.
So trying to get the kids used to, hey guys, right now it's going to be warm and they're going to get cold, and then later on as the season progresses, it's going to start being hot and start warming up. So we got to make sure we get the kids accustomed to the temperature change and everything. But we had a great crowd out there. I mean, the community was excited to be back, and then that the governor changed some rules that didn't take effect 5 p.m. on Friday. But all in all, we had a great crowd, and everybody came out there cheering rampant.
All right, when you look at a 7-game schedule like you guys have, every game is that much more important. Obviously, when you beat a New Bern, because New Bern, despite the fact it was 54-7, you got to think New Bern's a lot better than they indicated in that game, and they still have D.H. Conley to play, South Central to play. But you guys got one big one behind you, didn't you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, that was the big one. We preached, and so did our coach that had to take one game at a time. And, New Bern was ranked really, really high. We were ranked right under them, and the kids, we heard a lot about New Bern, how they were going to come in here and run the ball and try to control the clock. And I just hats off to the guys that they have the mentality that's like, hey, we're good too. We have a lot of hype, so we're pretty good too, and we're going to show, at least to say how good we are.
And on your staff, you've got a good one in Caleb King, don't you?
Yes, sir. I mean, Caleb King, the things he does on the offensive side of the ball is unbelievable. How he can figure out the leverage, how he can get certain guys the ball, get the playmakers the ball, misdirection. We use a lot of that. He's a great, and on top of that, you know, when he won the state championship at Havelock, he was the D coordinator. So
right.
You know, he helped out Lovett a lot too. So.
All right, you got Wilson Fight coming up this week. What do you see in the Golden Demons?
They got a quarterback that's pretty good. He got strong arms. They kind of an option team. They still run a little bit of options. They have this tough matchup that they won last week against Bedford. So they're going to be a challenge, but we just got to stay focused, take one game at a time, and just go out there and get better. Get better on offense than we did last week, and then, you know, on defense, just keep that momentum. Try to get a shutout if we can. So that's just some of the goals that we got working towards. Was it hard to find games, you know, when you're trying to get that, you know, the conference schedule? You got to play your conference games. Was it hard to find non-conference games? No, not for. I mean, because I think we had Spike already set up, and then our AD is real good friends with the AD at Spike, and they were like, "Hey, we can go ahead and we can schedule you off so you can have that non-conference game because we need one too." So it was pretty easy for us to get that non-conference game. All right, good. Will Bland, the head coach at J.H. Rose. What did you think of when you woke up Friday morning? You were 1-0. It was like a dream going true. I was like, all right, well, I prepared this whole time, I mean, a year out, and to be able to come out 1-0 against a very, very talented New Bern team is something special, and you just know that, hey, this could be a very special season. We just got to keep going one game at a time, 1-0, and then hopefully keep everybody healthy and continue to roll on. And as a former Havelock Ram, beating New Bern 54-7 wasn't bad either, was it? No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. All right. Coach, thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate your time today. All right, thank you. Appreciate you having me on. All right, that's Will Bland, the head football coach in his first year with the Rose High Rampants. He was a big winner, 54-7 on Thursday night last week as we head to week 2 of this very different high school football season. Let's take a break right now. Coming up next, Hollis Harper. He is the girls coach at Farmville Central. He's got an outstanding team, and they go on the road again coming up tomorrow night in the Eastern Finals. That's next right here on The Brian Bailey Show.
Wouldn't it be great if you could get auto, home, life, and business insurance all from one agency? Well, that's where the Gavigan Agency comes in. They can help protect what is important to you. So why not simplify your life? See the Gavigan Agency in Greenville or give them a call today at 252-756-1400. Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio. Subject to underwriting guidelines, review, and approval.
First came the PCC location, then came the ECU location on Jarvis Street. Now introducing the newest store at 10th Street at the Food Line near Walmart. It's Angus Grill 3. 3 restaurants featuring all of your favorite burgers and more. They've got your classic Angus, steak burger, brisket burger, black and blue burger, sweet sriracha burger, jalapeno popper burger. You get the idea. Now with 3 options for the best burger in town. Angus Grill at PCC, Angus Grill at ECU, and now Angus Grill at 10th Street in the Food Line Shopping Center. It's Greenville's best burger, times 3.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Hi, I'm Ken Hagler of Taft and Hagler. We're proud to be sponsors of the Brian Bailey Show and the Pirate Nation on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. If you've been injured on the job or due to someone else's negligence in an automobile collision, call us at 752-2000 for a free consultation with experienced professionals who care. Go Pirates!
It's bow time. There's something special about the first bite of a Bojangles Cajun Filet biscuit, like an edible alarm clock that slaps you awake with bold Cajun flavor. The moment you sink your teeth into that soft, fluffy, made-from-scratch biscuit, then strike gold with a juicy piece of fried chicken, you'll know. Nothing beats the first bite, except the second first bite. Get a Cajun Filet biscuit combo for just $4.99. It's bow time.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
This is former ECU baseball player and mayor of Greenville, PJ Connolly, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show. Now, back to Brian.
Hi, welcome back on this Monday. We continue on with our high school wrap, talking a little basketball, talking a little football. It's turned now to hoops. Farmville Central's boys and girls getting set to play in the Eastern Finals coming up tomorrow night. The girls are coached by Hollis Harper at Farmville Central, and the Lady Jags getting set to take on McMichael on the road against this McMichael squad. And Coach Harper joins us now. Coach, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. Weather's not too good today, but for you guys playing indoors, that's not a problem, is it?
No, sir.
That's good. All right, let's talk about your ball club a little bit. 13-0 on the season. Has it felt like basketball season for you? Because, you know, it's been so different, the late start, playing only the 13 games so far. I mean, does it feel different?
Yes, it feels different. We don't have the fans like we used to, but we are blessed that we are playing this year, so, you know, we just have to deal with whatever we have at the time.
Are you worried at all that every day that you come to work during the playoffs that somebody pops up with a COVID-19, because that can wipe out all of your dreams of a state title, can it?
Yes, sir. Every day we practice or every day we come, I hope that my kids do not catch it or whatnot. I tell them to wash their hands and keep the face mask on, but you never know. So I'm just thanking God right now that nobody on our team has caught it.
I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, you can do everything that you can do under the sun, but it just seems to pop up here and there, and there's no rhyme or reason. It just does, and so many teams have had to forfeit out of these playoffs. And my concern was as you get further down, if something like that happens, and all it takes is for one player to decide they want to go see some friends that they hadn't seen in a while or something like that, and then they're young people. I mean, that's what they do, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's really difficult. Talk about your ball club a little bit, Coach. I mean, how good is this team? And if you compare this team to last year's team, which team's better?
The team that we have now, they're having fun. They're playing well right now as the season's going along. The team that we had last year, we always got the same amount of team. We lost 2 great players last year, and we have one player that transferred in this year, and we still have the same nucleus. The girls are playing good right now, so the only thing I say that we keep playing good and stay healthy, I think we'll be okay.
Drop some names for us on that squad of yours that you count on night in and night out, Coach.
I count on Amara Joyner night in and out. I count on Jemiah Foskett night in and night out. Journey and Matt Daniels every night. I have a point guard that I count them all, but every night my starting 5 we can come to play, and the bench that I have, we come to play every night. We'll be okay, but if we can start with the inside out with the big people that we have, Amaya, Jernigan, Matt Daniels, and Janaya Fossey, and we can start big. Everybody else will come through.
Take us through your playoff run, Coach. You guys opened with Kinston, and that was a big win, 72-24.
Yes, sir. Well, on the good side, too, and you have the bad side, Kinston, some of their players caught the COVID.
Right.
So, that was kind of a bad break for them, but, the season kept going on, so luckily we came out with a great win.
And then you came up with North Pitt, and really give credit to the Panthers because they've played you guys tough a couple of times, didn't they?
Yes, sir. North Pitt is coached by 2 good coaches. They have a good program over there. We played them 3 times. It's hard to beat a team 3 times.
I keep telling people that. No one around here likes to hear that, Clip. Do you hear what the coach said? So it's hard to beat a team 3 times.
That's what I've been told.
It's hard to beat a team 3 times because you got 2 times they already know about you, and you play them in the same thing in the conference, and then you come back again, they're going to know you that 3rd time. I mean, you have to change some things over, but we end up winning.
Coach, I've been telling Clip Brock that for years and years, and he just doesn't believe me. So when somebody else says it, and I didn't prop him up to say it, that's just classic.
Hey, look, the good news is you only got to beat them once now, though.
That's right.
Beat them one time.
That's right. Only got to go one more. And then you guys beat Randleman 71-54 to advance to the Eastern Finals. What was that Randleman game like?
Oh, that was a good game. They had a big girl that plays in the middle. They have a good point guard. We just put pressure on a lot of teams, and the big length that we have and the good guards that we have, we keep putting pressure on teams, and it goes our way.
All right, we all know that the Farmville Central boys and the Farmville Central girls were underseeded in this blind draw seeding that had to take place. And I think Coach Williford and those guys, they started tweeting out that they were Cinderella, which is really, really comical if you think about it. But you guys have done the same thing like the boys. You've steamrolled right through this Eastern bracket. How difficult was it when you told the girls, hey, we're a 9 seed, we got to hit the road, and how did they take it?
Well, I'll be honest with you. It was a little shocking that we was a 9 seed, but at the same time, we have to thank the North Carolina High School Association that we are still playing.
Right.
So since we are still playing, we just took it where we take it, and we just gonna play and hopefully nothing happens, and we're just gonna keep right on rolling.
All right, what do you see about this McMichael team? Because McMichael beat North Lenore in the first round. They advanced with a forfeit over St. Paul's in round 2. Then they beat Croatan by 9. But what do you see about this McMichael team on paper?
Well, on paper, they have a good guard that, they can create things that go through her. They have another shooting guard that they go through. But I always tell a lot of people, I just worry about my girls. We go out there and focus. We'll win the ball game.
All right. Did McMichael have COVID issues? Because their record is 6-8. Have they had some issues?
No, sir. What happened was they were 6-8. That a lot of people don't understand is that they made they had most of their girls on the volleyball team.
Okay. All right.
And the volleyball team made a long run.
Yes.
And having their teams on the volleyball team.
Okay. I knew it was either, it was something to do with one of those two. Has that been difficult trying to juggle all the sports playing at the same time?
So what now?
Has it been hard with girls trying to play different sports and trying to juggle everything?
Yes, sir. Because they you have to give them the fair chance to play both sports. It's hard. I had a volleyball player that was, she played Lauren Pitt. She plays volleyball, and then, she made the playoff, and then she had basketball practice. But she dedicated herself to both of them. It's kind of hard, but she came through.
Coach, take us back to last year. You guys were getting set for the state championships. I think you guys did the interviews and everything in Raleigh, and then the whole world started coming to a crashing halt with the news that this place was canceling, this league was canceling, that league was canceling, and then the North Carolina High School Athletic Association said, we're going to play our state championships, but with no fans or limited fans, and then they finally decided not to play at all. Then they stretched it out because they said we're going to play eventually, and then finally they decided to name co-champions. But how hard was that on you, and how hard was that on the girls?
It was very hard because we were prepared for that week. But when the news came down, every day before the news came out, every day we was telling them we were going to play, and then they came back and they changed that we were going to play, and then they came back and changed that we weren't going to play. But at the same time, it was hard because you as coaches, you prepare your girls or your boys for the championship, and you looking forward to play it, and it didn't ever happen. But you look at the good side of the North Carolina High School Association. They could have not crowned nobody.
Right.
Let the season be what it was.
Right.
But I want to thank them. They did crown everybody as co-champion.
Yeah, I think that was the fair thing to do because I think it would have been so unfair to not name a champion, and I don't think anyone that was named a co-champion under these circumstances can't be disappointed. There's still a state champion. There just happened to be 2 this year because of COVID-19.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think that was the best decision that could have been made because I think anything short of that would have cheated. Would have cheated your girls out of a state championship. Would have cheated the Farmville Central boys out of a second straight state championship. What do you think of Larry Williford's boys squad? How fun are they to watch?
They fun. We see them in practice. They're well coached by Coach Will, which I was under him. Their program is good, just like our girls. I learned a lot from him and Coach Reed, and just hoping that the program that we have can keep continuing the success over here in Farmville, and hope we can go and win tomorrow night, and hope we can win the state.
You think you got a couple of girls that could go over there and play right there with the boys?
They'll try anyway.
I know they'd try. I know they'd battle. They'd probably like that challenge, wouldn't they?
Yes, sir.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks so much for your time. It's Farmville Central's ladies at McMichael tomorrow night. That's the Eastern Finals in 2A high school basketball for the ladies. We wish you the very best of luck, and we're hoping that Farmville Central can bring back boys and girls state championships. But it says a lot about the school that you guys have two teams in the Eastern Finals again this year.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate it. Hollis Harper joining us today. Thanks so much, Coach, and we'll see you after the playoffs.
Okay, thank you.
That's Hollis Harper. He's the girls' coach at Farmville Central. Lady Jags at McMichael tomorrow night in the 2A Eastern Championship game for the ladies. We'll take another commercial break right now. We'll come back. Nate Connor, head football coach at D.H. Conley, joins us as we continue on this Monday after this.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and this is a Pirate Radio Sports Break presented by Ron Ayers Motorsports, north of the airport on Highway 11 in Greenville. The Pirates clobbered Georgia Southern yesterday in Statesboro 9-2 to take the series 2-1. Carson Wisenut struck out 11 in 6 2/3 innings without giving up a run to post the win. Seth Cadell and Zach Agnos homered for ECU. The Pirates are now 6-1, ranked 19 this week by Baseball America, and host ODU Wednesday at 4. Pirate basketball will get back on the court Thursday night for a 9 p.m. tip-off against UCF. The game Thursday will mark ECU's first game in 22 days, a stretch that saw ECU lose 5 games due to COVID issues. In the American yesterday, it was number 12 Houston blowing out USF 98-52. The Cougars are now 20-3. Memphis took Cincinnati 80-74. The Tigers have won 8 of their last 9 games. SMU at Wichita was postponed. Top 25 action yesterday, it was number 9 Iowa 73 and number 4 Ohio State 57. This has been a Pirate Radio Sports Break.
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is the home of the best margaritas. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Tuesday for the Gulp of Mexico, a huge 46-ounce lime margarita for only $6.99. On Thursdays, relax and enjoy half-price pitchers of Chico's house margaritas. Choose from lime, strawberry, blood orange, raspberry, or peach. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's in downtown Greenville, and now available through DoorDash, featuring a half-gallon of the famous margarita mix to go for only $9.99. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
Join us for the first annual North Carolina Strut Masters Championship on Saturday, April 10th. Presented by Crescent Tools. Brought to you by Mountain Dew, Yeti, Sam Jones Barbecue, Spring Hill Outfitters, and Nomad. Compete against some of the best turkey hunters in the country, like Michael Waddell, Hal Schaefer, and Nate Hosey. Live performances by Nate Hosey and much, much more. Registration now open for 2-man teams at ncstrutmasters.com. Teams with the top scoring birds will win big cash prizes, up to $15,000. The tournament is open to residents and non-residents that have access to hunt properties in North Carolina. Deadline to register is March 31st. Weigh-in is at R.A. Woods Farms, 39 Vanderford Thomas Road in Farmville, North Carolina. We'll see you there.
Hey, Troy, have you heard about The Place?
No, Jason. What place?
It's The Place. It's Washington's newest restaurant on the waterfront. The Place is located in downtown Washington in the Harbor District with waterfront seating in the back. We're open for bistro-style lunches Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to 2 and elevated comfort-style dinners Thursday through Saturday 5 to 9. Plus Sundays, we have the best Southern brunch in town.
Man, that's awesome, Jason. The Place sounds like the place to be.
It is. We look forward to seeing you there. The Place in Washington, North Carolina.
This is Coach Donnie Kirkpatrick, Office Coordinator for ECU Football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show. Now, back to Brian.
All right, welcome back on this Monday. We're going to flip-flop again. We've gone football to basketball, now back to football. Nate Connor is the head coach of the D.H. Conley Vikings. His Vikings opened up the very different 2021 season, I guess we can call it, the 2021 spring season, beating Southern Wayne 28-0 on Friday night in the rain at the Hollywood Crossroads. And Coach Connor joins us now. Coach, were you pretty pleased with how your team played Friday?
I was. It wasn't a perfect game by any means, but, neither were the elements and everything else we kind of dealt with some things we had going on. I'm proud of how they came out and responded. We played a solid team win. I thought we did some great things on offense and defense, and I was pleased with the way they competed.
Several schools moved their games to Thursday. I credit you guys for sticking with Friday, even though the elements weren't the best. And the schools that moved, they all told me that, hey, their fields were so wet. If they got more rain and trying to play in that slop, it would tear the fields up. But I think that Conley's got to be one of the lowest places on earth. You guys, it's always soggy over there, isn't it?
I tell you, it is. In the regular season, when we get to November and the playoffs, it always starts to get that way. We get rain and it's just not drying, and it is right now. I don't know how much different it would have been on Thursday night minus the rain. I thought our field, for the situation it was in with the rain we had, held up really well. It was already wet, though, from previous days, rain and everything, so it would have been sloppy on Thursday as well. And we thought, every week we could be dealing with this right now. And we wanted to play on Friday. We're going to have to face it. I thought it was a good week to go ahead and take that chance with the weather. And obviously it wasn't ideal conditions, but we're going to have to deal with it. And I'm proud of our boys not shying away from that and playing in it.
And it really wasn't, I'm all for if there's a hurricane coming to town or a tropical storm, let's play them early or postpone. And you don't want to put anybody in harm's way. But if it's just rain and mud, isn't that what really football is all about?
It isn't, and it was that the other night. It was definitely that. I don't think you have to worry. Just right now, the tickets aren't as big as a concern.
Right.
The gates are so important.
Right.
So this year, it's not as big of a concern with gates. I think we're going to get those fans our maximum, whether it's raining or not. So that was a big part of it too.
We had Will Bland on, the head coach at Rose, earlier in the show, and I asked him the same question. But with seven games in the season, how important, is each one magnified? Even though the conference schedule is basically the same year in year out, but you don't have those non-conference games to tinker with things. You don't have a chance to really catch your breath. Once you start, and you guys have a big one this week.
It's huge. They had a big one to start out the season with, and so do we. Each one is important in the conference, but you have to be ready for it. And I'm already thinking about it. We game plan days are such a big day when we're putting our plan together, and we're already 2 of those in. We only got 6 of those left.
Yeah.
Or 5 of those left of game plans in the regular season, and those are just flying, and it's so quick. You turn around one, and you're already in the next one, and the next thing you know, you're playing. And each one is so important.
If this is not a misprint on Max Preps, you guys go to New Bern, go to Rose, go to Washington, and go to Aycock. Is that right?
That is correct.
In a row? Who's the AD over there to schedule that deal?
Who's in charge is the football coach kind of set all that up, and he, that's where you need to direct your complaints direct to the football coach. It just kind of worked out that way. We should play Washington. That was a non-conference game. That happened to be in our bye week, and that's just kind of how it fell with our conference games and everything else. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah, you better enjoy those the Hollywood Crossroads for that one night, because you won't be back at the Hollywood Crossroads until what? End of April, 1st of May, maybe.
In the 1st of April, and everything else for our last 2. Now, the nice sense of that is it allows our field, through this tough time, it allows it to recover a little bit, get some of the growing season when some of that warm weather comes in. But we'll still be playing JV football games on it, and we'll be at home those weeks. So
yeah, back with them. First week of April. That'll be good. All right, what did you see out of your ball club in that first game?
I saw guys that, we have plenty of things to correct. I saw things where we had to get guys on and off the field and get used to adjusting to signals and players substituting in and out that you don't see. That was a challenge for us. But I saw guys who played pretty disciplined, who ran the football hard, who overcame and found a way. I think we got on early, and we struggled to throw the football because of some of the things, whether it was catching. I thought we threw it okay. We struggled maybe catching it with the weather and the elements and keeping our footing, but we were able to get enough together in the running game to make it happen. And then I thought we played lights out defense and up front and to make some things happen, forced a lot of turnovers, stopped a lot of drives, and so I thought it was a good starting point. Nowhere near where we want to be, and we're going to have to be way better this week. But we were able to come out on top.
You look at the defensive play in the league. South Central had a good defensive night. You guys throw a shutout. You got Rose giving up only 7 points. Man, this is not the same Eastern Carolina 3A4A we're used to, is it?
That was always a joke. We always used to get over Parker's barbecue. Who's gonna play defense? And I think teams we've got a lot of good coaches in this league, and I thought Southern Wayne had a much improved team. I was really impressed with them in person, and they played us tough and hard. And I think it's people want to have a complete football team, and they've got the players to do it. And it's gonna be a challenge to win this league.
I think that's the kicker. Is we know from what we saw in the first week, we Rose looks really, really good. New Bern's going to play better. Conley looked good. South Central looked good. But if one of those other schools like a Southern Wayne or an ACOT can pop up and upset somebody, this whole thing could be crazy, couldn't it?
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the fun thing about it. I think if you lose a game, you're still not out of it. I think anybody can come up and upset somebody or do something like that. So I think it's going to take all 7 weeks to see who comes out on top of this league. I don't think it's going to be just clear cut.
Did it feel like football season Friday night? Did it feel like maybe it was the fall and things were normal again?
It did. I think when you get to Friday and you got that feeling when you wake up and get to school in the morning, the boys got their jerseys and stuff to get ready. It doesn't matter when it is at that point. When you get on that bus and go ride around, and it's special whenever it is. And, they've worked really hard to get to this point. It's obviously not October and that kind of night necessarily, but it was still a lot of fun.
That's the one thing that I remember most about playing high school football, that the summer practices were so hard. We used to go 2-a-days, but it was all worth it when you got to wear that jersey. On Thursdays when they passed the jersey out and they said you can wear it to the JV game and get in free, I just wanted to wear it so people could see I had it on. I just thought that was the coolest thing. And now even when I take Bella to school, walk her to her class, it's to see the guys in their jerseys and to think back to that. And I think that those are some of the things that those guys will remember forever. And I think that's one of the most important things about having a football season. Obviously, all these kids are going to remember, COVID-19 shut them down, and the baseball players that didn't get to play last year at all. And, they go through the fall, especially your seniors that don't get to play, but finally they get a chance to get out there. And it's really great that they're getting some type of football season.
It is. I think that's the key to everything. We want to win every single football game we can, but the fact that they're having those experiences and there's some normalcy and they're getting a senior year in a lot of those ways it's extremely important.
Was it difficult with the mask to play in an actual game?
It wasn't. We actually were able to get some masks that the state approved that kind of attach onto our helmet. That I don't think our kids are used to it by now. I think it's just something we're used to. We've been programmed in it. We've made it important. I think the bigger challenge was when they had their helmets off. So our mask attached to our helmets, so we don't have to really worry about them. It's when our helmets are off we have to have a mask on. That's more of what we had to focus on and make sure we're doing that. But I think our guys did a great job of doing that. We had some extra ones to pass out when we were in at halftime or something, and they had their helmets off. But with the gameplay with those on, they were able to function just fine.
How hard was it to coach with a mask on?
That was a challenge with that kind of knocking it off and paying attention. You're so focused on everything else, and it's just natural to kind of that thing to come down. The official did a great job of keeping us in mind of that and making sure that thing stayed up, and that's different too. I can see why Andy Reid wore that big shield over his face.
Yeah, but you're one of those coaches that you talk to your quarterback, just about every play. Sometimes you yell the play in, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's something that you're definitely dealing with. I think the bigger thing was my headset was knocking it off. I'm used to talking with it on, but it just kept getting knocked off my earpiece and everything else, and it is what it is.
All right, you've got New Bern coming up this week on the road. That's got to be a scary proposition just because the Bears are better than they showed up at Rose, losing 54-7.
Yeah, I think the game kind of got away from them a little bit. They had a couple mistakes early. They had a big play. You look at the film, and they jump out quick on them in the first 2 minutes of the game. And, then all of a sudden they turned the ball over as they're driving, and Rose had a big play, and it kind of snowballed from there on them. I think they're a very good football team, and they're obviously looking at it that way. They're disappointed with how it came out week 1, but they're ready to go back and prove who they are. So they're going to be ready to play. I think they have some dynamic players and skill pieces. It starts with their running back and quarterback, and then they have some bodies up front. I think that's where the key is going to be, is up front on the offensive and defensive lines.
And they lost their quarterback early on pretty much a controversial call. Did you see that play, and did you think that was the right call?
I'm not sure exactly what happened, so I don't really want to comment. I thought where he made a great run. It was on a big touchdown. I don't know if emotions were part of it. He dove, and I don't know really what happened.
Yeah, and it's hard to tell from film.
Sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I just know he didn't play after that, but I fully expect him to be playing this week.
Yeah, and in case you missed it, we asked Will Bland about that, and the same type thing. You don't know what was said beforehand. If that was the only thing that the young man did, I think it's a bad call. But Will said that Cornell Powell was called for that against Eastern Wayne several years ago, and that they gave him a 15-yard penalty, and they should have ejected him, is what the North Carolina High School League, High School Athletic Association came down and said to the Rose coaches. So, maybe that is the right call. I just think it's a little harsh for what it is, because these kids, they see things on television week in and week out, and that's basically where they get something like that. And maybe the kid didn't need to actually dive into the end zone, but that's a pretty harsh penalty, I think.
Yeah, it's tough, but I also think our officials do a great job, and they had a reason. They had the what, Brian. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate that a kid only gets 7 games.
Right.
I'm sure he's worked really hard, and he wanted to do that, but there's also lessons to be taught in that. So I'm sure New Bern will handle that the right way, and they've got a good grip on it, and I'm sure that guy's going to come back ready and fired up to prove a full game, so we got to be ready for him.
Conley with road games coming up at New Bern, at Rose, at Washington, and at Aycock. So Nate Connor has his work cut out for him. Well, when you look at what you saw from the first week, anything surprise you? Rose's win, obviously, kind of a surprise to many of us, but South Central looked pretty good. Anything else surprise you?
Yeah, I don't think there's any surprise. Everything's a surprise right now.
Yeah.
With COVID season, and I think our biggest challenge always has got to be week to week us. And I don't know. I think there's a lot of good teams that have worked hard through this time, and I think some just whatever the situation might have been jumped out and had a good first week. But I don't think those first weeks of the teams that lost that defines them. I think it'll be interesting to see how they respond. I think there's so much growth between week 1 and week 2 for football teams, so I look forward to seeing what they do. As far as that goes.
First time in my career, we've done the state high school basketball playoffs, and then we go with high school football, boom, boom, night after night. So it's been a wild time. But when we think back to March and April of last year, we're so thankful that we've got so much to cover, because it's so important to the communities and so important to the players and their families, and it's just a real pleasure. We had a great time with Touchdown Friday this past week, and we look forward to this coming week. Conley at New Bern this week, and you'll see those highlights on Touchdown Friday. Nate, thanks so much for joining us. We certainly appreciate your time, and best of luck to those Vikings all season long.
Thanks a lot, Brian. It's always a pleasure, and go Vikings.
All right, Nate Connor, the head football coach at D.H. Conley. We continue on. Larry Williford, the head basketball coach at Farmville Central for the boys. He joins us next as the Brian Bailey Show rolls on this Monday after this.
Wait up. Papa John's has a new stuffed crust. Oh, we did it. All our tweets, DMs, and carrier pigeons worked. This ain't just stuffed crust. This is Papa John's crust. Stuffed.
Hey, Pirate fans, order the new Epic Stuffed Crust One-Topping Pizza for only $12. The new Epic Stuffed Crust Pizza is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
Hey, Eastern North Carolina, this is Miles Minges. And this is Landon Minges with Minges Bottling Group. We are proud to announce that Pepsi is once again the official soft drink of the ECU Pirates. That's right, Miles. Our family's purple and gold roots run deep. From founding members of the Pirate Club, alumni, and even a team physician, our support over the last 60 years has never wavered. We are Pirates. We're excited to be back at ECU and are honored to serve our great customers throughout Eastern North Carolina. Not only is this the birthplace of Pepsi-Cola, this is our home. Cheers, Pirate Nation. I like the sound of that. Support local, drink local, stay safe, and drink Pepsi.
At Tiebreakers, we admit we have a bit of a problem. People love our wings so much that they're starting to sell their home TVs just so they can watch all the sporting events here at Tiebreakers. Seriously, we're glad you love our hand-breaded, hand-cut boneless wings that much, but we really need you to go home at the end of the night. It's okay, we'll be here tomorrow. And when you come back, bring a friend with you. For great food, great friends, and cold beer, we'll see you at Tiebreakers. Tiebreakers, break the chain, eat local.
Find yourself working from home or at least spending more time there? Want some remodeling for your house or a fresh look? How about a new deck or screened-in porch to add livable space outside? Don't know who to call? Well, you do now. Call the professionals at R&R Remodeling. They've been serving the local community for 15 years. Ronnie and his crew can help you today. Call for a free quote, 252-286-4119, or visit R&R Remodeling on Facebook. R&R Remodeling, construction you can count on.
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey, Pirate Nation, Warren's Hot Dogs, 2 locations are open for business in Greenville and Chocowinity. Both locations have drive-through windows, so stop by today for hot dogs, pizzas, subs, apple and peach turnovers, homemade lemonade, and breakfast in Chocowinity, featuring homemade cheese, ham, and chicken biscuits, plus sausage dogs and more. Warren's in Greenville, across from Ron Ayers Motorsports, and in Chocowinity, next to the fire department. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some.
National Signing Day has come and gone, but that doesn't mean the recruiting news cycle is stopping. In fact, the Pirates still have their sights set on top targets in the transfer portal and have already turned their attention to the 2022 class. HoistTheColors.net has the latest on EC recruiting from a football perspective, and we also cover basketball and baseball commitments like no others. Sign up now and get your first month for a single $1 to get the latest scoop on your favorite Pirate teams, along with in-depth baseball and spring football coverage in the months ahead. HoistTheColors.net.
Hi, this is Brian Meador from East Carolina Athletics. You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show. Now, back to Brian.
Hi, welcome back on this Monday. We continue on. Let's go back to the basketball side of things as we talk high school sports. On this Monday, Larry Williford is the head basketball coach at Farmville Central. This time last week, we were talking about his Jaguars as a 9 seed, having to go on the road and on the road and on the road again. But now his Jaguars are back at home, and they rode the moniker of Cinderella through these playoffs. Coach Williford, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me. I thought the Cinderella tweets were absolutely just awesome. The first one I read, I thought, man, what a great way to go about this thing, because obviously you guys were favored even though you were on the road, and your guys have just done a great job beating Hertford County 87-59, beating South Granville 99-81, which had to be just an incredible game, and beating Reedsville 83-57. How proud of you are the guys with this run they've had?
You know, I thought a lot of people that called me, they thought we were going to be upset about the seed, and I think it's had the reverse effect on our guys. It's actually brought us closer together. I think they were excited about, I sold them on the fact of, let's take the road less traveled. Let's let this be the most memorable playoff experience you've ever had. And we spent a lot of time on a bus, 12 or 13 hours over the last 5 days. You learn a lot about people when you're with them so much.
Yeah.
We just got a really close-knit group of guys.
Northeastern's up next. Northeastern at 10-3, and Northeastern beat Trask 81-56, won by forfeit against St. Paul's, and then beat Washington 79-67. What do you know about this Northeastern team?
Big, strong, physical. Probably hadn't seen a team like this. Not to label them football guys, but you can tell that they do an outstanding job in their weight program at their school. They have a tremendous football program. I think 8 of these guys play football. Big, strong, muscular guys. They're definitely stronger than we are. We're going to have our work cut out for us.
The younger freshwaters on this team. Travion came to East Carolina. His brother's pretty good, a really good athlete too, isn't he?
Oh, he's a load. He's on the block. Number 24. He's definitely a focal point of their offense. I think he's their second leading scorer. We've not seen he's not tall in stature, but he's just wide and thick.
When you look at this team and going on the road, is it kind of rewarding that you get a chance to come home and host the 2A Eastern Championship game, and you get to have some fans in the stands?
Well, I think we earned it.
Yeah.
That's what I told our guys. We've been dealt some bad luck with, our senior night being canceled because of Southwest Edgecombe not being able to travel that night due to the impending ice storm that was coming. Then drawing the 9 seed, a bit of bad luck with that. You had an 80% chance of being at home in the first round, and we didn't even beat those odds. So we did what we had to do to get to this point to be at home. And I think now finally the ball's bounced our way, and our guys will get to play one last game at home.
If I'm not mistaken, last year the boys and girls at Farmville Central were the only school in the state that had both teams in the state finals, and obviously those state finals were never played because of COVID. Once again, you guys are close. How proud of you are of this, the whole program for the girls and the guys?
I can't say enough about it. Someone put out a stat the other day, and I didn't fact check it because it was on Facebook or something.
No, it's got to be true then.
Social media sites. It said that we were the only basketball program in the state of North Carolina to have our girls, boys, and JV programs go undefeated for this season. Basketball is important. Guys and ladies want to play it. Our ladies, in my opinion, are as locked in as I've ever seen them. I actually got to watch a little bit of their practice the other night while I was waiting for the football officials to get ready to go to the game. And, this is the most locked in I've seen them. I expect them to go on the road and take care of business tomorrow night.
How tough will that be for them on the road again?
It's another long trip.
Yeah.
This time of year, Brian, in my opinion, your mental approach is the most important thing going. If you start trying to change a lot of things physically about what you do with your basketball team, I think you start grasping at straws. That the practices change. So for us, when you start playing every other day, or you're doing nothing on your legs other than maybe getting up shots and walkthroughs in between days. So the days of live practices are out of the window, because if you don't have legs, you don't have anything. And I thought, even though we scored 86, 87 points, whatever we scored against Reedsville, I thought our legs were tired. A lot of jump shots were hitting the front of the rim that had went in on the first 2 nights, and that's just a byproduct of playing 3 games in 5 days.
When you look at your ball club, I mean, obviously you have some stars, but it seems like you've got several players that have, roles where they contribute and they know their roles, and they kind of, everybody just makes everybody better.
Our depth is really important to us. The other night we threw a couple guys out there, and they played extended minutes that hadn't gotten minutes in previous games. And it's not because they don't have the ability. It was a matchup type of game. Reedsville had a lot of guards. They were leaving the backside open, so we went more with a perimeter-oriented attack. I can't say enough about our basketball team. These guys have bought in. No one has complained or griped about playing time. We've had, up until the playoffs started, our practices were just not bloodbaths, but man, we were going at each other's throats in practice, and I thought it set us up pretty well in the playoffs.
And it seems like, as I said, you have your stars, but one guy will pop out of nowhere almost, and he'll have his big night. Then the next night it'll be another guy. I mean, it's really, to have guys like that who are unselfish, it has to mean a lot.
Jaquavion's drawing a lot of attention, but probably one of the most underrated aspects of his game is his ability to pass the basketball to people who are open. He has tremendous court vision. I mean, he had that as a 9th grader. That was the first thing that stuck out to me as a 9th grader when he came here, was his ability to see the floor. And these guys know they'll get the ball if they're open. Leonte Moy, Rashe, Jaden Pitt, Nick. I mean, he's had an ability to find people when they're open because he knows when he needs to pass the basketball.
How many of your guys that don't start could start in other places?
A lot.
Yeah.
I'd probably say 5 of them that don't start would be starting at other places.
Yeah. So those practices must be like war. early on.
We changed things about 2 years ago. I had an assistant named Coach Tyree Mayo. He's now the head coach of Smithville Selma. I had missed my first 2 practices of my career. My mother had terminal cancer, and I was spending some time with her up in the hospital, and I knew I was going to miss practice. And we had always been 1 versus 2s. And he called me that night and asked me how practice went. And he said, "Coach, I switched things up tonight. I hope you're not upset." And, he split them up evenly.
Yeah.
And he said, "We had a great practice." The next night, he said, "Coach, our practice was even better." When I came back, the guys begged me to keep it like that because the intensity level of the practices went up about 10 notches.
Wow. And
ever since then, we've split up evenly, and then, and everything's competition-based or score being taken. It's been some really, really competitive, segments in practice, whether it's zone offense, man, under, out of bounds, you name it.
Yeah, I can only imagine because your team is absolutely loaded. What's the key against Northeastern? What do you guys have to do to win that game?
I hope we can get the tempo going up and down. I think we need to continue to do the things that we've done all season and defend at a high level. Defensively against Reedsville, we were as good as we've been all year. I thought South Granville, we were probably a B+ defensively. We had a few assignments that got away from us. This time of year, defensively, it's assignment basketball, and the scouting report and film are so important, because the whole dynamic of practice changes. It's about what can you take away from your opponent, and guys have bought into that.
All right, how do fans get tickets, and how many tickets are available?
Good luck.
Yeah. That's why I asked you.
My theory, Brian, is I'm going to take care of my players first.
All right.
I think I ain't going to say they've been pooped on all year, but with limited fans for the whole season and COVID and ice storms and then the playoff seeds, my goal is to take care of my guys first tonight, and then anything that's left over tomorrow at 9 a.m. we'll sell to the general public.
Now, how many fans are you allowed to have?
250. Right now we get 125, and Northeastern gets 125. They're going to call me tonight and let me know exactly how many they've sold. If they sell all 125, then that's what it'll be. If there's any left over, we'll add them to what we have left over and sell tomorrow morning.
Okay, there you have it from Larry Williford, head basketball coach at Farmville
Central. If you buy a ticket, you better be loud.
That's right. It's on the ticket. If you buy one, you got to be loud. And the guys deserve it because they've had to play in front of no fans all year long. So that'll be a great atmosphere for your ball club. Coach, thanks so much for your time. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thanks, Brian. Hope to talk to you again soon.
All right, Larry Williford, head basketball coach at Farmville Central. We'll take our final break, wrap things up on this edition of the Brian Bailey Show right after this.
This tax season, get more in return during Bostic Sub Furniture's Tax Mania. Update your home for less with savings of 15% off throughout the store. Living room, dining room, and bedroom furniture at savings of 15% off. Save up to 70% off clearance items or get 48 months special financing. Now's the time to get a better night's sleep on a Scott Living or Restonic mattress and enjoy 48 months special financing. Your tax dollars go farther during Tax Mania now at Bostic Sub Furniture.
The Rick House is Eastern North Carolina's premier American-styled restaurant and bar. Join us at the Rick House for mouth-watering steaks and the best burgers around. Check out the spicy mahi risotto or the bourbon pecan salmon. Wednesday night is date night. 2 salads, an appetizer, a bottle of wine, 2 entrees, and a dessert for just $55. Thursday is ladies' night with $5 martinis and special apps. The Rick House, American Provisions and Spirits, 710 Red Banks Road beside the bowling alley in Greenville. The Rick House.
BMS Builders is your premier custom builder in Eastern North Carolina. With Blackwood and Mills Creek in Greenville, Dalton's Cove in Farmville, and Belmar and Ayden, these are just a few of the developments featuring BMS Builders homes. They can build the home of your dreams. Just ask Dr. Dennis Ross in Greenville or East Carolina football coach Mike Houston. They built their homes, and they can build yours as well. BMS Builders. Give them a call at 916-1578 for BMS Builders.
Seared Chop House is Greenville's newest restaurant and the city's only true chop house. We combine a remarkable menu with an unrivaled atmosphere. Seared, a quality-driven experience highlighting a thoughtful approach to locally sourced ingredients and hearty, flavor-rich cuisine. We're firing up the grill at Seared, Greenville's only true chop house. Come see us, Fire Tower Road at Bells Fork or SearedChophouse.com.
This is ECU head baseball coach Cliff Godwin, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to The Brian Bailey Show. Now, back to Brian.
All right, welcome back as we wrap things up for the boys coming up tomorrow night. Eastern Finals, Northwood at West Carteret. We've got Northeastern at Farmville Central, Riverside at Wilson Prep. So West Carteret's the 3A game, Farmville Central the 2A game, and Riverside at Wilson Prep is the 1A game. For girls, 2A play, Farmville Central at McMichael on the road, and then Northside at Princeton, and that's the 1A game. So we wish our local teams the very best of luck as they are one win away from a berth in the state finals, and we certainly want to see Farmville Central's girls and boys make it back to the state championship games. I want to thank Will Bland, head coach at J.H. Rose, Hollis Harper, the girls coach at Farmville Central, Nate Connor, the head football coach at Conley, and Larry Williford, the head basketball coach for the boys at Farmville Central, for being on with us today. Good luck to the Jags coming up, and that's our show for today. Have yourself a great sports week. We'll see you back here next Monday on The Brian Bailey Show.
This has been The Brian Bailey Show, brought to you by
Bostic Sugg Furniture, Bojangles, East Coast Grading, Angus Grill, Gavigan Insurance, BMS Builders, The Rick House, Greenville Auto World, Papa John's, Pepsi, Seared Chop House, Taft and Hagler, and by Tiebreakers.
Join us next time for another edition of The Brian Bailey Show, exclusively on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.